looking back at the hours long hearing that happened yesterday, what kind of stands out to you? What did you really take away from this hearing that you didn't know before?
Man, what a great question. After over 11 hours, nearly 12 hours of nonstop testimony from all the different affected parties who would be damaged by this proposed drilling project, the main thing that is abundantly clear is that high capacity wells exporting water out of the district is something that needs a lot more regulation on it. The rule of capture is something that allows someone to go and stick a well in the ground and pump as much water as they want. When the Supreme Court of Texas adopted that in 1904, we had water wells that were driven by 20-foot tall windmills with very small pipes. So we were talking about a very small amount of water that could even be pumped. Three phase power, 400 horsepower motors pumping 24 hours a day didn't exist back then. And so that amount of water, you couldn't harm your neighbor to the effect that people can now, which is exactly what this project will do if it's approved. And so I think the legislature really needs to step in and regulate, create a lot more hurdles to be able to export groundwater. Um, in addition to that, we need to empower our local groundwater conservation districts to have the teeth to stop these projects if they are harmful to the aquifer. And that is one of the things that came out of this hearing, is that there is no question that this project takes up all of the modeled available groundwater in the Carrizo Wilcox aquifer. So in my mind, there's no circumstance where the GCD should approve these wells.
And so, based off what you heard yesterday, or maybe even what you didn't hear, what happens next? What's the plan from here?
So there's two separate phases here. One is the application process with the Groundwater Conservation District. That goes to a SOA hearing, which is Office of Administrative Hearings. That's going to take many months to go through that process. There will be hearings in Palestine. I won't be presiding or technically a part of any of that. I will be there to if I can to show my support for the community. But the public is welcome to attend all of those hearings. Then the other phase that I'm working on right now is the legislative fix to all of this. What do we need to change in statute? And met with the governor's team this morning to go through the different statutory changes that I think we can accomplish in the special session, and plan on having a conversation with the governor later today to hopefully get that done and get this added to the special session call.
And you mentioned it right there. That was going to be my next question. I know the last time you and I spoke, you had mentioned this would be something you would be willing to take to the governor to get on the special session agenda. Is that the hope for you?
Absolutely.
I want to ask about something I heard yesterday that I didn't know before. When it comes to groundwater conservation districts, Houston County does not have one. And so I believe it was Representative Ashby that said something to the effect of drilling there could begin sooner rather than later. Is that the way you see it, the way you understand it?
Yeah, that's accurate. If a county is not in a groundwater conservation district, then just straight rule of capture applies. And any landowner can pump as much water as they want to without any real regulation. So part of the legislative fix, I think, is tying the regulations to the groundwater management area, which encompasses all of the GCDs in an aquifer region and all of the counties in an aquifer region, whether they're part of a GCD or not. So it would take in Houston County and provide some protection to those surrounding landowners.
And you did have a chance last night to hear from one of the guys behind these proposals, Kyle Bass. I know he sent over his written testimony to us. I did not get actually a chance to see what he had to say or see the questions he was asked, but I know in his statement he mentioned that this was an application for exploratory drilling. That being said, exploratory drilling with the goal of finding out if eventually they could pump all of this water out of the aquifer. What did you make of what he had to say?
Yeah, my take on what he had to say was that Don't pay attention to anything else that you've heard over the last 11 hours. We know what's best for you, so sit down and shut up. That was my takeaway from his testimony. And I'm not about to sit down and shut up. I'm going to fight for the people of East Texas and the property rights of the people of East Texas.